Ever thought about doing audiobooks? So I did. I looked into voiceover and started doing voiceovers. And
how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it, Mike.
No problem, man. Welcome. Thank you to take your time to come on. And I've been reading your track record. Wow, like 25 years of this, of your voice in Ford commercials, sports, and so forth. Where did it all start?
I grew up in Flint, Michigan, and I was involved in sports as a kid. I always loved sports, and that town is big with high school sports. And I wanted to, after my college career, I played a little football at Eastern Michigan. I wanted to be a reporter, and I got a job through persistence at my hometown TV station. Started out as a cameraman, and then I worked my way into sports, and I did that for about a decade in the '90s. So I'm giving away my age here. Um, and then I got what moved me to Tampa was it was funny. I was working on a series piece with one of our news reporters, and it was on apartment discrimination. So myself and one of the the reporter was dating a young lady that worked as a producer in the NBC affiliate here in Tampa. And she came up to visit him, and we did this apartment discrimination piece, and we posed as an interracial couple. And so when I was looking for work, looking to move up in markets. She called me and said, she was now going to be an executive producer at this brand new station called Bay News 9. and and so they wanted me to be the host for the sports. They had a half-hour call-in show. I didn't get the job because it went to a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Dave Logan, but they called me 6 months later. They had a new position, reporter/producer. I got the job, and that's what brought me here to Tampa.
Okay, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats. So you've done. So where did you just? So you started from the news and stuff like that, and then you got into documentaries. You had an Emmy-winning documentary. How did that feel? Like you were part of that,
Yeah. I mean, I after my TV career was done, I mean, I didn't think I would get back into broadcasting, but someone, people were just, saying to me, Greg, have you ever thought about doing audiobooks? So I did. I looked into voiceover and started doing voiceovers. And I just, putting myself out there. I got a call from a producer in North Carolina to do this piece for PBS on the oldest HBCU in the South, and they contacted me, and I did it, and I loved it, and it was an awesome experience. So it aired on PBS, and the program itself won an Emmy. So I was real proud to be a part of something like that. That was awesome.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, guys, this is his website. The QR code is on top. Man, he has a track record a lot here. The Haunted. I was listening to The Haunted. That's pretty cool. You were creeping with the voice. It was interesting. You got an interesting thing. You also do coaching. You want to talk about that as well?
Yeah, I do voice coaching. So if anybody's interested in getting into voiceovers, I can help them with that process as well. So I love coaching. I love being able to, teach people how it's done, and, just overall, just improving their speech. Because a lot of times people want to do public speaking. I can help them with that. So just, I've kind of done it all. Been in front of the microphone, been behind the microphone, done public speaking, so I can help them with all aspects of that.
So you're pretty much like a speech master how to talk. Because some of us think we can talk, but we can't talk.
It's fun for me. I really enjoy it, and I kind of get a high from it. I really do. I mean, it's like an adrenaline rush for me to do
Hmm.
public speaking, and whereas the voiceovers is kind of, I really enjoy. The main thing I enjoy from that is obviously the art, but seeing the finished product after it's done is really cool.
It is. It is. Also, you were in a national commercial campaign for including the NBA star John Wall. So you
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. That was something like with voice actors. And that was really early in my career of doing this. Um, there was in voiceovers, there's something called pay to play websites where you pay an annual fee and they send you auditions pretty much every day. And this site was called Voices 123, and they sent it to me, and I did the audition. They liked my voice, and that's how I got that gig. That was through that. I mean, it wasn't through an agent. Sometimes those sites you don't have to go through an agent. You can get a pretty big gig, and so that's how I got that, and it was real exciting because I never forget I was just up doing some work at midnight, and I said, I'm going to check and see if that's out yet. And I just typed in, Googled it. I just put in John Wall, and it popped up, and I was like, yes. I was just like celebrating. I didn't want to be too loud and wake up my wife, but that was that's what happened. That's how I saw the first one.
Wow, wow. So
Yeah.
you do, and then you did the Ford commercial. Like, how was it working with Ford as well? Such a big
Yeah.
corporation.
Yeah, that was different. That was I got a call from a producer at NBC, and
Hmm.
he called and said that they would like, they have a client Ford, and they would like to use my voice for that campaign, and it aired during the Kentucky Derby. There was actually two spots. It was that spot that you saw on my website, and the other was it was during the after the it was in 2021, so it's pretty much during COVID, and it dealt
Mm,
with Ford and how they were helping people during the COVID time period. That was one of the commercials, and then the other kind of it talked a little bit about that commercial about how it's helping people during COVID, but it was showing more, Kentucky Derby shots and things
hmm.
like that. So, but it was real
Hmm.
cool. I mean, a producer called me, and we knocked it out together over Zoom.
Yeah, so they be calling you, man. Greg, they be calling Greg. They be
Yeah,
calling
yeah,
Greg.
yeah. So,
Greg
but
ain't calling y'all. You calling Greg.
so I mean,
Very
that's
nice.
one of the cool things about like 90% of voice actors work from home. We have our own home studios. Like
Hmm.
back in the day, you had to go into a studio and do the recording, but everything, modern technology is so awesome. You can do
It is.
everything from home.
It is. Like, I'm home right now. We're doing the show from the. It's great,
Exactly.
great visuals, great audios, and yeah, I'm showing my age too because this wasn't a. It was around, but it wasn't around, but it wasn't like this. We can put.
Exactly. I know.
Awesome,
Exactly.
awesome, awesome. So, what is your newest project? So, what are you working on? Is it
Yeah.
dry out
I
there? Is it coming in, or it's like
Yeah.
acting? You
I've
gotta
been
get it.
busy with audiobooks. So it's just for me
Okay.
right now, it's goodness, audiobooks. I have one that just debuted on Audible on May 26th. It's called White Power, and it's dealing with, it's written by Gotham Rao, and it
Mm,
deals with during slavery, how slaves were policed. So it's dealing with that aspect of it and showing, how slaves were. There was a paranoia from plantation owners about insurrections of slaves, and it just kind of shows how it kind of still affects today. But it was a
mm.
long book. It was a very good book. It's a 12-hour book. I would recommend listening to it. I hope I don't, I'm not going to put you to sleep during the book. I'm going to keep you informed, but it's out now. So that's one. And then I'm finishing the touches on another book. It's called A Journey of Decoding and Reprogramming. And that kind of deals with religion and Christianity. So that book will be out, probably at the end of this month.
So, man, congratulations. So, what are the steps? Like, I know sometimes there's big words. I mean, we all can read and stuff, but sometimes so, do
Oh,
you
yeah.
read the book? Do you train? Do you go through it
Yes.
first?
Yep. So you want to read the book as a voiceover artist. You read the book first. It's to kind of get a feel of the tone and how you want to do the pacing and mark areas where you want to emphasize words. Because, those two books, there's inflection involved in, you look at the pronunciation and of the sentence. So it's not as much acting. Like I've done voiceover books where, yeah, I'm acting out characters and things like that. These two books, it's more dealing with history. So I'm keeping a tone that's very
Yeah.
serious, but like I said, it's not going to put you to sleep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, everything. So, have you done anything more hyper? Like, let's
Oh
say,
yeah.
like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I've done um, books on self-help books, motivational books, but I've done books on crime. I've done a lot of different, So I've done books where I had to do a different accent and stuff like that. So absolutely, I mean,
Puerto
there's
Rico.
things that you type of books that you do where yeah, you may do 4 different characters, and that's one of the things that I like to stress to authors, because sometimes authors, there's kind of you got to be on the same page with them, because sometimes you have to understand this is their baby, this is their book, they want everything to be perfect, and
Correct.
sometimes you have to be straight up just honest with them and saying, hey, I don't do impressions, or I don't, you know, I got this deep voice. I can't sound like a woman too much. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So you have to
yeah.
kind of stress that to them up front, because they want everything to be perfect. And, I'm going to do the best I can, but if I can't do it, I can't do,
Yeah.
16 different personalities. so, so, you just have to be real with them.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Oh, so because you have to do different. Okay, so you don't really work with like, there's a girl scene, there's a guy scene. You guys work together, or you ever done
Well, that
that?
that that happens now. There is absolutely, there's authors who will ask for a dual
Hmm.
narration, and so I've done that. I've done dual narrations for poetry, so that was one I done, and the female voice actor had most of the poems, and so she did a good majority. I may have done 22 or something like that in that book. It was just a book of a lot of poems, but she did the majority. So, and I just read my because of editing, I just did my
Hmm.
area, and then she did her area, and they edited together. And then there was another book about a relationship where I did a dual narration with a female.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Do you mostly go for books now, or you into doing commercials as well? I mean, it's a
I
broad.
go I go where I'm hired, so where the money is. so 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 I mean, I would love to do more, commercials. What the two things that I do the most is now audiobooks. I would say over the last 2 years been audiobooks, and I do a lot of corporate videos. So a lot of
Mm,
businesses or corporations want me to do like story videos. There's a company called Verkada, and they do security for stadiums and big events and things like that. And so they have this technology they want to promote, and so they'll bring on whoever the head is of security, and they'll interview them, and then I'll tell the story of how everything came about. So they'll write
hmm.
that for me. I've done about 11 commercials with them. So
Wow.
so yeah, and they're all over the world. One was in
Mhm.
Tokyo, and another one
Oh,
was
wow.
in another part of Japan, another one California. So they're kind of worldwide, this organization. But that's kind of an example what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Would you ever do sports, like live sports, like yeah, the touchdown, he's going to it for blah blah blah,
For
stuff like that?
voiceover,
Yeah, or yeah, because you said you did the Derby. So how was that?
yeah, that was a voiceover for about a minute commercial. So
Mm-hmm.
there are commercials sometimes where they want you to sound like a play-by-play announcer. I've never
Yeah.
done anything like that. I've auditioned for them, but I didn't get the gig. But yeah, there are those out there. I haven't done anything like that. I've done sports biographies and things like that. But again, there were more serious pieces, not something where you're, doing a whole lot of hooting and hollering in it.
How about
You know,
animation? I feel a lot of these guys are doing
I've
animation. I think it's
I've
cool.
done animation. Again, there was a corporate video, but it wasn't like cartoon characters, but you know how you have corporate videos and they're animated, and I'll
Hmm.
do the narration on it of the characters. So I've done a little of those, not a whole lot, but a couple of spots I've done that have animated videos.
No, that's cool. That's cool because, like I said, I've been trying this as well. I think it's cool. You can sit there and just do a voiceover or read, but some of these books are like 200 pages. So you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
like
oh yeah.
you got a
I
timeline. Do you give
Right. I
yourself a
mean, there
timeline?
is, yeah, I mean, because this book that I just mentioned to you, that was a 12-hour book. So I
Mm,
had like, it depends. Like there's a platform called ACX. And if your book is that long, they'll give the narrator up to 3 months to complete it. But this particular contract, I had, 30 days and I did it within 30
oh,
days. But I'm right now, and it's possibly I have a potential client that wants me to do a Bible, and it's 35 hours. So I'm, I'll be asking for 4 months for sure to do that because I have other work. So I can't just
wow.
concentrate everything and I have to be upfront and say, hey, if you have a
Yeah.
deadline, I need time for this because there's other things I have to do as well.
Wow, a Bible.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. So
I mean, hey, it pays the bills, man. Hey, that's
hey,
interesting.
exactly,
You're
exactly.
yeah, you're at home doing that. So
Hmm.
what would you tell people trying to get into the industry? Is it easy? Or nothing's easy. We don't say that. But how to start, like, stuff like that. Like I find it interesting as well. I
Hmm.
tried. I
Hmm.
tried that company you said earlier, ASX or something like that. ACX.
Ace, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
ACX. Hmm.
I got an account on there. I did it. I tried. I'm like, okay, I need a little practice.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Because they're maintaining the reading and getting the words right and
Hmm.
the breathing and
Yep,
the narrative and more of a clarity in speaking.
exactly.
So what would you tell people trying to get into the business if so?
One is coaching, absolutely, is because one of the things I found out, yeah, I wasn't, um, I had a background of being in front of a microphone, being a reporter going into this. And a lot of
Mm,
times people don't have any sort of background in acting or I would, if you want to kind of get your feet wet, do Toastmasters. Some people do improv if you've never done anything like this, but definitely do coaching because you're going to need that. I mean, one of the things that I learned when I, started with my coach was that in television, when I read, you wanted to end sentences with a down inflection, but in voiceovers, it could be anything, depending on the character. So you really have to have coaching. That's going to be very important.
mm.
Absolutely.
Okay, and coaching and also management. Do you have a manager or you got to do a
Um,
bio?
I'm I'm working with like I work with a couple of companies that send my stuff out for me. Um, so and I have agents. I have you know, not just one agent, but four agents, and they send my
Oh,
stuff out. So, that's, yeah, I mean, that absolutely. And then I have agents through books, for audiobooks. So, I
Hmm.
mean, they send me auditions and I'll audition, or they may send the client that, hey, like my voice and just directly want to hire me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you're a professional. They're calling Greg. They're calling you. Man, I was reading some Morgan Freeman comparison. Ever get that?
Yes, I get that a
Yeah,
lot.
he's like,
So,
yeah, man,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, one of the things like, buyers will send out and put a little glip in there that what they're looking for, and they will say, they want a voice that's similar to Morgan Freeman, or similar
Oh,
to Denzel Washington, or similar to it just any sort of like actor.
oh,
And so that's very much so possible in
mhm.
the business, where you may get a gig because you sound close to an actor. Yep.
Yeah. So wow. So they asked you to be somebody else that you're not. That's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
interesting.
So if you can't afford Morgan Morgan Freeman's
Gotta
budget,
call Greg.
I could do it.
You gotta
So,
call Greg. No, but it's nice having you on, man. What is the last question? I know you got things to do. What is your biggest project you would like to see yourself do, like a movie or documentary? Something like what are you
well,
looking for?
I always had a dream of doing like NFL stuff, films. Because when I grew up, again, I'm showing my age here. There was a narrator for NFL films, a guy named John Facenda, and he had this great voice, this voice of God. And I always liked how they put his voice to music and to the action on the field. I mean, that company, NFL Films, was a great ambassador for pro football,
Mhm.
because that's what helped with their popularity, I felt, through that production company. But that's something like that I would like to do, you know that sort of thing. Or I would love
Mhm.
to do a lot of car commercials, describing a car. So those are the two fantasies I have about about
Yeah,
voiceovers.
yeah, we got to push you to the car people, man. Ford, Volkswagen or something. I'm making
Uh-huh.
getting your
Exactly,
Volkswagen
exactly.
today.
Yep, yep.
Well, it's good to have you on, man. I appreciate your time, man.
No
Cool and very
problem.
informative. Man, Emmy Award winning documentaries, commercials, NFLs. It's great to have you on, Greg, and I appreciate that. And
No
let me know.
problem.
I'm back on later on and see where you're at.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No,
Absolutely,
no
Mike.
problem, man.
All
All
right.
right. Tune
Enjoy
in,
the rest.
guys. It's coming to you. We got Greg Campbell. If you need him, you got information, the QR code, it's on the screen. Scan it or check out his website right here. Hold on 1 minute. Let's check it out. There you go. You can get a contact with him, hire him for voiceover, teaching you how to talk, how to speak, or guys, whatever, corporate. Let's do it. It's Mike G. Thank you for tuning in to the Vast Podcast. Later.